ready to embark on a journey that will not only expand your knowledge but also open doors to a world of possibilities? At Taiwan Tech, we understand the importance of preparing our students for a globalized world. That's why our Department of Applied Foreign Languages offers courses that go beyond traditional language learning. The Department of AFL is a dynamic hub where language proficiency and cultural understanding come together to shape tomorrow's global leaders. AFL offers 4 degree programs: a 4-year bachelor's program, a 2-year bachelor's program, a master's program for day students, and a master's program for evening students. Our dedicated faculty are committed to providing an immersive learning experience through a range of specialized modules, ranging from professionally oriented courses to English teaching and translation and interpretation. Students learn languages in interactive classes that equip students with professional knowledge, practical skills, and immersive cultural and study abroad experience. Speaking of study abroad, AFL students now have the great opportunity to use language as the key to open up endless opportunities by starting a global journey that might change their life. On the 1st of December 2023, Department of AFL signed 3 dual degree agreements with the School of Modern Languages of University of Bristol, allowing students to complete studies at Taiwan Tech and continue postgraduate studies in the United Kingdom. On this memorable day, 3 delegates from University of Bristol visited Taiwan Tech not only to attend the signing ceremony, but also to advance their academic and research collaborations with Department of AFL and College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences. Our honored guests expressed their delight in meeting the faculty members and AFL students. In the afternoon, one of our distinguished guests delivered an engaging academic talk, sharing her profound research expertise. Our students gained valuable knowledge from her insightful presentation. After that, they provided a comprehensive introduction to our students about the dual degree programs and offered insights into the study abroad experience at the University of Bristol. Students seized the opportunity to raise their questions and share their thoughts, fostering an interactive and enriching session. During their brief visit to Taiwan Tech, our guests were impressed by the vibrance and enthusiasm of the AFL students. They were captivated by the campus environment and the state-of-the-art facilities. So, what are the benefits this dual degree partnership can provide for our AFL students? First and foremost, the dual degree program could be a guaranteed fast track for some students who intend to complete postgraduate studies in the United Kingdom. To complete the bachelor's program, it will take a minimum of 2 years and 4 years for a 2-year track and 4-year track students, respectively. For master's students, they need 2 years to finish their studies. However, with the dual degree partnership, the 2-year track students can continue their 1-year postgraduate studies at the University of Bristol right after the 2-year undergraduate studies in Taiwan. For 4-year track students, they can finish their studies in 3 years and spend 1 year in the postgraduate program in the UK. As for the master's students, they can complete the coursework at Taiwan Tech in 1 year and go abroad for 1 more year. So it means that master's students can get 2 master's degrees from Taiwan Tech and University of Bristol respectively within 2 years. In order to know more about the master's program offered by the School of Modern Languages and Study Abroad at University of Bristol, we have interviewed delegates and invited them to share more details with us. They are Professor Natalie Edwards, Head of School of Modern Languages at University of Bristol, Dr. Knight, Academic Director for Center for Study Abroad, Ms. Susanna Batten, International Partnerships Officer and International Partnerships from the International Office.
We have 6 departments in the School of Modern Languages. We have French, Italian, German, Russian and Czech, Hispanic, Portuguese, Latin American, and translation. And so we have, and in our translation department in particular, we have people who specialize in Chinese, English translation and interpreting. So the master's programs that we offer that are very relevant to you for the dual degrees are Masters in Translation, Masters in Chinese English Translation, Masters in Chinese English Audio-Visual Translation. That's specifically for students who are interested in subtitling, in gaming, in digital uses, so it's very professional, very technological. And we have a new program that we're developing on MA in interpreting for next year. The thing we offer is a Masters in Comparative Literature and Culture. Masters in Translation programs are all very popular with students who speak Chinese, and they are really targeted towards those students. We aim to produce excellent programs for the Chinese students in particular, because we have 2 or 3 colleagues, faculty members, who specialise in Chinese, English translation and interpreting. So we have a network, a nexus really of people who are interested in that. So there are 3 semesters on the course. The first semester there are core courses, and there are some theoretical knowledge that the students learn in those core courses. After then there are some options. They can specialise in certain areas, and then in the third semester they do a dissertation. So that's a research project, and that's really interesting because that's when we get to say to the students, it's your choice, it's your topic, it's your interest area. And we give them lots of support to do that as well. So they work with one specific supervisor for that dissertation, and so we lead them through that project, and they have a really professionally focused project at the end of that. And it's important as well that throughout the master's program, our students are taught by practitioners. So they're taught by people who are university teachers, and they're very, very good teachers, and they're also professional people who work in translation and interpreting. Some of them actually have their own businesses, and they employ people in the area, and so they have a good professional network themselves, and they share that professional network with, to some extent, with the students. So they introduce people into their classes, they have guest lectures, for example. They also take the students into the local area. For example, one of our teachers on the program takes the students to the Bristol Museum. A lot of practical experience, and there's professional connections that the students develop over the course of that program. Specificities of the Comparative Literatures and Cultures program, that we teach literature and we teach visual culture as well. So by visual culture I mean cinema, so film and TV, digital experiences, other kinds of visual arts, art history, that kind of thing, in addition to literature. So we see literature as one form of culture among many other forms of culture. And it's important that the students who come to that program only need English. They're going to be learning all sorts of global things, but through the mechanism of English. So all of the literature that they study, for example, is translated into English. And it also enables students to come from a variety of backgrounds, a variety of nationalities, and be in the same room discussing a literary text. And it's fascinating when that happens, because people come to a text from different nationalities, different linguistic, different cultural backgrounds. And so you have a really interesting discussion about the different ways of interpreting a text based upon one's own background. So the students can do a wide variety of subjects on that course. So again, they do a couple of core units about theories of reading and theories of visual culture. So what they normally do is they choose one topic, and they have 2 different pieces of work. So one piece of work for Bristol, one for Taiwan Tech, but it's the same topics, so it's not two completely different things. So that's the course of the year, and so they'll be finishing in the summer. Semester 1, September to December, semester 2, February to May, and then the dissertation, June, July, summer. You're entitled to discounts automatically, so that's very good. So that's what we offer to all of our partners. That's a 10% discount. That's for all of the students automatically. There are also scholarships that you can apply for at Bristol. So we have something called the Think Big scholarship.
Oh, okay.
Think Big is just for international students. That there are 3 scholarships available. It's from £3,000 to £26,000.
Wow.
There are big scholarships available, and we have a system, and we have a program of developing those with the students. So we have a couple of online sessions where we help you to say, here's how to do this application. And one important thing is that we always guarantee accommodation to the students. So you're not going to be left trying to find somewhere to live in Bristol.
That is very important.
It is important, yeah. And that's something that students get very stressed about. So we make sure, so there's an application deadline is in May for the overall programme, but the application deadline for accommodation is in June. So as long as the students meet the deadline in June, we can guarantee accommodation for September when they start.
Have a couple of different things. We have the Global Lounge, which is a common space for all international students or for Bristol students who will be going abroad or have just been abroad. So we don't want to put our international students in a ghetto, but instead give them that opportunity to meet with the students who might be wanting to learn a little bit about their hometown or their home country, that sort of thing. So there we hold all kinds of different social events, from games nights to cookouts where people bring some of their traditional foods, movie nights, all these kinds of things. For the Center for Study Abroad, so my area, we have a special dedicated team called the Student Experience Team, and they also put on special events for all of the short-term visiting students. We do a lot of local trips to Wales, to Bath to see Jane Austen's house and the Roman baths. We go somewhere further away in the UK every fall semester, and somewhere in continental Europe every spring semester. And we have lots of pub nights because that's what everyone needs to experience when they come to the UK.
Undergraduate and postgraduate, we're about 30,000 students, and just over a quarter of those students are international. So we have a really big international community. So that also means, we really invest in support for our international students. I would say one of the key things I encourage all international students and also home students is to go visit our Global Lounge. So this is a physical space on our campus which is there to sort of promote internationalization throughout the university for our international students and our home students. So one of the key things they do when students arrive is they have kind of shuttles and kind of meet and greet services to help you get from the airport to Bristol, and then from Bristol to your accommodation. And then they run kind of a welcome lounge in the first few weeks. They'll organise a lot of orientation activities and socials like quizzes, campus tours, English kind of afternoon tea and things like that. And then throughout the year they'll run lots of different activities as well. So they'll organise cultural events like Lunar New Year celebrations, Diwali, Mexican Day of the Dead, Afrocentric. So it's a really great way to kind of connect with your culture and your celebrations, but also maybe try something that's different, another kind of celebration from kind of a different culture or religion. And then they also run kind of language cafes as well. So that's where you can go and chat to native speakers. So for example, you could chat to non-native Mandarin speakers that are learning Mandarin, or for example, if you're learning Spanish, for example, you could go and chat to some kind of native Spanish speakers to try and improve your Spanish as well, to me. And I would say really take advantage of the careers service. So when I was at university and I wasn't really sure what to do, I went to the careers service and I had a meeting with them, and I was like, this is, I'm not sure if I want to go into translating and interpreting as a full degree, but I still want to remain in like international, maybe higher education, and they kind of really talked to me, gave me a website where you could search for all the higher education jobs in the UK, which then helped me get my first job at the University of Bristol. So I think those are professionals, and they're a really good resource. And I know, for example, at Bristol we have that career service, and we have specific support for international students, whether that's they want to stay in the UK, they want to go back to their home country, they want to study somewhere completely different. That support is there, and you can also access that up to 3 years after you graduate.
Number of work abroad programs. So these ones, there's one in particular where you do a sort of a 4-week remote. You're paired up with a business in Spain or in Portugal. You do 4 weeks with them remotely, and then you go in person and actually continue that same project. We have teaching English as well in Poland and Spain. And we have one in India, in Bangalore, in the sort of the heart of the IT capital of India, where students go and partner either with business or with a local NGO, and there's a real cultural component to that as well. And we have a number of volunteer study abroad over the summer as well, and those are, in particular, there's one on environmental activism, and that goes all to about 12 different countries in the world, in South America, in the Pacific, in Southeast Asia as well, and students will go and partner with a local project and just help to see it to fruition. Schools, we have a number of set summer schools already that any student can apply to from around the world. So we get a lot of applicants from an even greater range of countries than for our semester program coming for the summer just to check us out. So we have summer research programs in STEM subjects, and those are about 6 weeks long. And you partner up with a particular professor, researcher to work on a specific project. So you have a sort of output at the end of the program. But most of ours are more arts and humanities focused summer schools. So we have Shakespeare in performance. We have an archaeology one where students get to actually do a bit of excavation. We also have one in Black humanities. But we also do bespoke summer schools as well. So when particular universities that we have a relationship with have set goals for maybe a particular degree program or faculty, then we'll design something bespoke. And those can be more of like a cultural experience with a bit of teaching and a field trip every day, or it can be something for credit that is a little bit more intense with the teaching. We do all of those options.
It's in the southwest of the UK, so we have somewhat warmer temperatures, but not quite as warm as you have here. It's a really vibrant and bustling city, so it's a really great place where students can feel like it's their second home. Bristol, we're also a really top university. We're currently ranked 55th in the world, so you know that by coming to Bristol you'll be studying kind of at one of the top UK universities.
I would say we're a very sort of a young and vibrant city. We're also quite an independent city in that, so we are the only high street that isn't filled with chain stores basically in the UK, so there's still a very independent ethos. Students tend to be very interested in social justice and activism, these types of things, but we also have a really strong IT and startup presence, a lot of film studios actually as well. So students tend to be, I would say, more leaning towards thinking about interdisciplinarity, how they can be creative with what they're studying. They tend to be interested in having an impact on the world as well, and that kind of independent spirit.
The dual degree offers an opportunity to study abroad, and through a dual degree it also creates a partnership route for students, so it's a much smoother, streamlined application process through the partnership that we have with you for students to come to Bristol, which I think can take a bit of the stress off and the worry about, you know, what do I need to fill in on the application form, how long is it going to be until I hear back. Be really happy to welcome you to our campus. If you're interested in studying us, then definitely talk to your coordinator here at Taiwan Tech to find out all of the admissions requirements that you need to meet on this side, and then, you know, do get in touch with our team, the international partnerships team.
I would just encourage you to move outside of the London bubble to come and see Bristol. We're a really vibrant city, but we're also small enough that it can become your second home. And that's really our goal with all of the support that we offer, all the different opportunities we have. We want students to feel like Bristol belongs to them and to think of themselves as our alumni as well. So come and see a different side of the UK. A very international side as well, and we'd love to see you and walking and climbing, struggling up our hills and along our harborways and in our parks.